It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And it's 7 p.m. in New York City. Hello, everybody. I'm Mad Dog the Scipio, and this is America's Best Podcast. What's the buzz? Joining me, God help me, each and every week is, she's back, folks, Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman. How are you, Amelia?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I've been on vacay for a little bit, you know.
Yes.
I'm still on vacation mode. You know what's funny when you come back from vacation? It's almost like you need a vacation from your vacation.
Vacation.
I did that. I came home. I went, yeah, I need a, I said to Anita, I need a vacation from our vacation.
Yeah.
I was exhausted.
And the hardest part is unpacking from your vacation, right?
Oh
Because
my
you
God.
feel like you don't want
Please.
to unpack, right?
See, for me, that's not the case. Because I could unpack simply. I take my bag, I dump it, and I wash everything. That's easy.
Mhm.
Packing is hard for me because it takes me a month to pack.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll go through 5 or 6 sets of clothing and different changes and realize at the last minute I'll realize I'm not going to wear any of it and I'll do a complete change again. Wow, somebody's
Well,
with us already. Oh, it's El Ruffy. Our boy is here.
hey.
Hello there. Good evening, Ruff. What is it, bro? Today is first day of vacation. Ah, man.
Yeah.
He's done nothing but, let me tell you, that's not a vacay, okay?
No,
If
that's the
you're
best
home
thing to do.
cleaning, that's not a vacation. That's called fucking work.
No, that's
That-
actually the best thing to do is clean on your vacation because the first day, because that way you're done with everything and that way you can rest after that.
Well, it's one way to look at it, but if you're on vacation, the whole idea is to like not do nothing. I thought so anyway, but what do I know? Anyway, what now? What do you do on vacation? Amelia?
Well, usually if I had a vacation, I would go visit my parents in Texas, but I had 3 months of vacation, it seemed like here. So,
Oh yeah, you were out of work for 3 months.
yeah, so I did nothing but like spring clean a lot. So basically,
Well, there's so much cleaning you can do. Let's be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, and
Unless
rearrange and rearrange.
unless you're Anita and she'll find stuff to do.
Yeah, yeah.
My wife will find dirt in a clean room. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
because
You'll find it.
that's what she'll do. You guys, your phone on?
No,
What was that noise?
it was something beeping, but I turned it off already.
I'm gonna smack you. Oh my god. So listen, tonight we got an interesting show tonight. We were
Yeah.
going to have tonight's show was supposed to be my friend Jay and his father Dean. Now there's family stuff going on. I'm not real sure, but I know there's family stuff. They're not going to be with us tonight, so we had to change the show at the last minute. And I mean, when I tell you the last minute, I mean today.
Down
The
to the
last
wire.
minute. Yeah, I like today, the last minute. So tonight's show is history a lie?
Hmm.
I'll tell you what prompted this show. It's funny because I heard something. It's funny. I actually heard this about a week ago, and it stayed in my brain because I still thought that we were doing Jay and Dean tonight, right? But so I had this little tidbit stayed in my brain. Is history a lie? And I got to thinking about it, and I thought, well, yeah. I mean, it's just history. It's things that have already happened, right?
Right?
Because I'm a smart guy, and I think like that, right?
And you're a
Wrong.
history buff.
Wrong. Apparently, maybe not so fast. Here's what I have learned. Finding truth in history is about understanding that the truth is not absolute. Here's the part that got me. Truth is based on perspective. That's what got me. Is history a lie? It all depends upon the perspective.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
whether history is a lie or not depends on who's telling the story.
Right.
Now, let's go to the oldest story known, the Bible.
Right.
There are people who swear today, to this day, that the Bible is all true. I don't happen to believe that half of it's true. The important stuff is faith. Do you love God? Do you believe in God? Do you love Jesus? Okay, that's the simple, easy to understand, right?
Right. Easy. Very
In
easy.
between those pages, though, in between them 66 books, there's a lot of other shit going on there.
Oh,
There's
absolutely.
lying and truth and murder and adultery and incest and cheating and more murder, more cheating, and more lying, and a lot of money changing hands.
Mm.
Believe it or not, somebody said, I actually heard a preacher say this. I'm not even kidding. They said that the Bible is the dirtiest, most corrupt book in the world.
Wow.
And
That
I went,
is.
wow. He says it's full of lies, murder, deception, incest, adultery, um, bad business deals, swindling. And he's absolutely right.
Wow. I'm surprised vindictiveness didn't come out of that
Well,
mouth.
no, wait a minute, though. But think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. From the first book to the last book, there's all kinds of shit going in there. You got Adam and Eve, you know, losing their shit in the Garden of Eden. You got Cain and Abel. One brother kills the other brother. You got
Mm.
oh my God, you got the lineage of David and Solomon and the fathers and the sons, and he's you know think about something.
Oh, yeah.
Solomon took his son to God to kill him.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, I want you to think about that. And what was the reason? To test his faith. I'm sorry, but there's better ways to test your faith than I'll bring my son and I'll kill him in front of you.
Hmm.
There's got to be better ways to do shit, okay? So I don't know if is that story true?
Right.
I don't know. It depends on who told the story.
Yes.
It all depends. But the bottom line is this: truth is based on perspective. Whether history is a lie depends on who's telling the story. Finding truth in history is understanding that truth is not absolute. That's the truth. That statement is true. Finding the truth is about understanding that truth is not absolute. Truth is based on perspective. Let me read this to you real quick because it kind of put things into
Perspective.
perspective. Exactly. It's here's the and I want this is going to define the whole night tonight, okay? Listen to this. The perspective of the person who captured it and the person interpreting it. That's the truth. That's how truth is determined. It's determined by the perspective of the person who captured it and the person interpreting it. In the Bible, perfect example, the Bible, the person who wrote it and the person interpreting it, deciphering it.
Yes.
Because you got to remember something, it wasn't written in English, it was written in like Aramaic
Aramaic.
and
Yes.
and Hebrew and Greek. The Bible was written into like 3 or 4 languages when it first came out. And nobody understood it until King James came along and commissioned that the Bible be interpreted. That's the
Hmm.
key word, folks. Interpreted in English.
Yes, in English. So, like,
King's, by the way, King's English, not
mhm.
American English, because we didn't even fucking exist yet.
Right.
Okay. All right, so and the perspective of the here you go, we're going right there, and the perspective of the translators and editors and the primary sources of information. We don't get to be invisible observers of moments in the past, and we don't get to go into other people's minds. The best we can do is keep our eyes open, our minds and biases in check, and what history can teach us is not found just in the moments that tries us, but also in what we choose to look at and how we choose to represent it. All right, now that's a lot to take in, okay?
Yes.
Um, El Ruffian says, I read this one book called The Chemical Muse. Supposedly, Christianity originally and a sex and drug cult based on pharmaceutical. You know what? There's a lot more truth to that than you realize. We should actually, Amelia,
Mm-hmm.
we should actually do a show on that,
Okay.
on how medicine and Christianity were alchemies of different cults and religions. Did you
Okay.
know that the symbol for medicine and hospitals is a staff with a snake wrapped around it?
Yeah, because my mother-in-law was a nurse, so she had that on her nurse outfit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I want you to think about that. Okay. I would think about that. They still use it today,
Today, yes, they still use it today.
thousands and thousands of years later. The symbol for medicine is a staff
Yeah,
with a snake wrapped around it,
with this,
which
yes,
just kind of makes you think, like, what were they thinking, right?
right.
But
Because
there's a reason for it. We'll do that. Write that down. We'll do that
yeah,
show.
hmm, got it
Okay.
already written down.
Beautiful. All right. So let's talk about this then, Pipple.
Yes.
Um, history. We've been told a lot of stuff, but we were told that men landed on the moon. We were told that John F. Kennedy died as an assassination. We were told that Richard Nixon caused Watergate. We were told all of these things. We were told that Joe Biden became president by the largest margarine in history. Margin in history.
Right.
Largest
And we were
margin.
told that 911 was, you know,
Yeah, Al Qaeda and yeah. Let me tell you, 911, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say it now. I said it before. I said it then. 911, September 11, 2001, was an inside job.
yes,
You'll not ever, you will never, never convince me otherwise.
yeah,
Anyway, but that's another show.
yeah, and also
We were
you
one
had,
of five that we've done on 9/11.
oh yeah, and you even showed proof that Amityville Horror never happened. You even disproved
Never
that.
happened.
Yeah, you
The
disproved that.
Amityville Horror never happened. The people, Ron De, Ron DeLeo is the
Mhm,
young man who killed his parents. Okay,
mhm.
it's not because the devil made him do it.
No,
It's not because the ghost made him do it.
no.
He did it because he was a fucking whack.
Yeah,
He was nuts.
yes,
Ron DeLeo was a stone cold killer who got riled up, killed his father and mother in their sleep, killed his handicapped sister in her sleep,
yes,
killed everyone except one brother, and he wasn't home that night. That's how he survived. He wasn't even there.
mhm.
Okay? But
Sad.
they want you to believe the history books. They want you to believe that Ron DeLeo became possessed by the devil and killed everybody in his house. The
Yes.
only thing that possessed him, ladies and gentlemen, was a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Mm, yes.
That was it. A bottle of whiskey. Because he
Mhm.
was drunker than Tootie Brown, boy.
Right.
He was fired up.
Awful.
Awful. He was fired the fuck up. Um, So, talk to me, Amelia. Talk
Yes.
to me. What is the one? The one. Pick one historical moment that you believe in your heart is absolute bullshit.
I believe that's absolute bullshit is the Marilyn Monroe one that we talked about. That she
Absolute.
she did
I
not commit
a
suicide
1000% agree with you.
because of all the evidence that you showed us and all the evidence that we talked about.
We
And
solved. I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. We solved the Marilyn Monroe murder,
yes,
not overdose. We
correct.
solved the Marilyn Monroe murder on this show. I named who did it and put them exactly where they were supposed to be in her house at the time.
Yes.
We did it here. The police, if they want to see this, they've seen it. If they want to act on it, they can act on it. But they've seen it. Just like the oh, not the Night Stalker, the Zodiac.
The Zodiac, yes.
I named the Zodiac killer on this show, and it wasn't Arthur Lee Allen like everybody thought. This guy came out of nowhere, but I could put him in every place where someone got killed. I could place this guy there. We did it. Amelia and I did that. The one person, and I 1000% Amelia agree with you. That was bullshit
Yes.
from A to Z. Marilyn Monroe's death, her suicide. Let me tell you
Oh,
something. That girl was she may have been melancholy, but she wasn't depressed to kill herself.
no, she was
Not
not.
when she had just got $1 million for
No.
a brand new movie. I don't know. I don't care how depressed you are. You give me $1 million, I'm going to be a happy motherfucker, boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You watch.
Yeah.
Watch how happy I get.
Yeah, and then you had showed everybody the pictures and you showed us the pictures live and you hadn't even talked to me about the pictures and you said point out certain things on the picture. And I had pointed out the exact same things that you had about the
Exactly.
lights, the windows, everything.
That photo that we saw of Marilyn Monroe supposedly in her bedroom,
Yes.
that was a stage
Yes.
studio set.
Yes.
That was a set from the jump.
Yes.
Marilyn was in witness protection. Far as I know, she still may be alive. She'd be about 96 if she's still alive.
Uh,
And if she's not with us, then God bless you and God rest your soul. I personally don't think she's with us anymore, but I don't think she died in
no.
1962. Now, she died supposedly in 1962. John F. Kennedy supposedly died in 1963. Well, guess what? What if I were to tell you that a very, very credible journalist back in the day named Jack Anderson says that he saw
Hmm.
John F. Kennedy alive, alive in an underground bunker in Washington, D.C. in the 1970s.
Wow.
What if I were to tell you that? Would you
That,
think I was crazy?
no, because I think that they had him under a witness protection program for something.
I want you to do this sometime, ladies and gentlemen. Go on your little Google machine there and Google the name Jack Anderson, the Washington Post. He's one of the most decorated journalists in American history. And he's telling you that in the 1970s, he saw President John F. Kennedy alive. Okay. And it makes perfect sense. Why? Why would you think? Why would you believe that? I'll tell you why I would. Simple. Because there was a hit out on him.
Oh yeah, there's several.
There was a hit out on him.
Mhm.
Kennedy was about to pull everything out of Vietnam. Lyndon Johnson did not want that to happen. So Lyndon Johnson, along with the CIA and the mafia, arranged a hit on John F. Kennedy. There's one problem, though. Kennedy found out about it before they could do anything. Okay? Now, somebody did die that day, but it wasn't John F. Kennedy. I don't believe that for a moment. Don't believe that for a moment. Because I'm going to show you a picture when we do that show of John F. Kennedy's body double. And let me tell you, you know which one I'm talking about, Amelia?
You were talking about that because doesn't a president have to have at least 2 body doubles when they go out?
At least, yes.
Mhm.
Yep. You're going to see John F. Kennedy's body double. And let me tell you what. Here's the funny thing about Kennedy's body double. And I'm laughing because I know where I'm going with this. John F. Kennedy's body double was from Israel.
Oh my goodness.
He was a Jew named, I'll tell you what his name was. Right, give me just a second. I'm going to tell you his name because I have it right here. I do. I have it right here. Here it is. His name is Lincoln Kaluni.
Oh, wow.
Lincoln Kaluni. And I'm going to show you a picture right now, folks. Take a look at this. It'll blow your fucking mind. Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
That's John F. Kennedy and his body double. Tell me what you noticed about the two of them.
They have the same haircut, same jawline.
Everything. There's one difference between them. There's one difference between them. Kennedy's bigger. Look, watch.
Oh yeah, I see that. The face is a little bit more wider.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, well, Mad Dog, that could be like Photoshop." Well, it could be, but there's one little thing that I have to tell you. That picture came from the National Archives.
Oh, wow.
Why? Because it's public knowledge.
Yes.
It's public knowledge. The guy that was Bill Clinton's body double, he's been on talk shows. They know who he is. It's fun though because his actual name is Bill.
Well, there was a lot of connection with the mafia back in the 70s because, of course, Elvis also. There was a lot of rumor about Elvis and the mafia.
We're gonna get into that one someday. Oh yeah. We're gonna get into the Elvis thing, folks. Let me tell you something, and I'll tell you who Elvis is not. Okay, Elvis is not a Baptist preacher from Mississippi named Bob Joyce.
Yeah, that was a big rumor.
Because Bob Joyce, I heard him he finally said it. He goes, "I need to set the record straight, folks. I am not Elvis. I'm not who people think I am. I am Bob Joyce. I was born Bob Joyce. I'm going to die Bob Joyce." That's what, and that's who he is. But you look at Bob Joyce, he's not Elvis, okay? No. He's just not Elvis. He's Bob Joyce. He's a preacher. Anyway, but if you want to believe that as your truth, you go right ahead, but it would be a lie. Is history a lie? Well, we got there's a lot to talk about, but I got to do a commercial first.
Yes. Time for commercial.
Yeah, Amelia's favorite commercial. She loves this because there's a big fat hairy guy here, and she's just. I guess he makes you excited. This hairy guy with all the tattoos. Check it out from Manscaped.com.
Only if William does.
Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code WrestlingFuture for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com and the Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you, and so will we. We are back with What's the Buzz, America's Best Podcast. I'm Mad Dog DeCipio. She is the Pitbull, Amelia Pitbull Chapman. Tonight is history a great big fat lie? Well, yeah, says so many people. Let me just give you a kind of a heads up that this is not a new subject, by the way. So those of you who think that this is a new thing, let me kind of like they say in wrestling, let me smarten you up a little bit. My wife hates that term. She can't stand that.
Speaking of wrestling, though, we want to say
here is what Voltaire said. He was a philosopher. What is history? The lie that everyone agrees upon. Here's another one. This is from Nehru. History is almost always written by the victors and conquerors and gives their view. Or at any rate, the victor's version is given prominence and holds the field. In other words, you've heard this before. History is written by the winners, right?
right.
And that's true. History is written by the winners. It doesn't matter that, that it may not be true, but history is written by the winners. Here's what William Randolph Hearst said. Now, keep in mind something. William Randolph Hearst was a newspaper guy. Hearst newspapers, they still exist in this country today. They're one of the very few newspapers that are still thriving while everyone else has fallen off the rail. William Randolph Hearst said this: when the rumor is greater than the fact, print the rumor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you hearing what I just said?
Yeah, print the rumor.
Did you hear what I just said? Say it again, Pitbull.
Yeah, when the
Say it
rumor's
again.
greater than the fact, print the rumor.
There you go. Say it again. Print the rumor.
Print the rumor.
That's what William Randolph Hearst said. Print the rumor. That's a newspaper guy. Telling you, print the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Jean Cocteau said. History is a combination of reality and lies. The reality of history becomes a lie. The unreality and the fable becomes the truth. What did I just say? William Randolph Hearst. When the rumor is greater than the truth, print the rumor.
Mm-hmm.
You just heard it.
Yes.
From Jean Cocteau, who said the unreality of the fable becomes the truth. In other words, the rumor becomes true.
Yes.
Here's what Oscar Wilde said. History is a lie completely and utterly agreed upon. Who was Oscar Wilde? One of the greatest writers in mankind's history. He was amazing. This is from, the next quote is from a great Mexican philosopher named George Santayana. History is a pack of lies about events that never happened, told by people who were never there. That's my favorite one.
That's a good one.
That is my favorite one of all.
Mm-hmm.
History is a pack of lies that never existed by people who weren't there.
Never.
The Bible. Nobody that wrote the Bible was there.
Right.
No, not one single person. None. Why? Because the Bible was written a minimum of 500 to 700 years after they were all dead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The only one that still came back was Jesus.
Right.
That you can't kill him though,
No.
because he already defeated death. How many people rise from the dead?
Right.
Nobody.
Nobody, just him.
Nobody. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. I don't care who you are. Only CPR can save you so much.
Yes.
Let's see what we got here. Ruffian. Let's see, Ruffian. He's back. It's like those people that think Alex Jones is really Bill Hicks. Oh my God, have you heard that one, Amelia?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys that are too young. There was a really great comedian. He died from lung cancer because he smoked like a damn chimney. He was a funny, funny guy named Bill Hicks. Sadly, he passed away. But then Alex Jones started to become very popular because I gotta laugh because Bill Hicks died and Alex Jones came upon the scene. They thought that Bill Hicks is Alex Jones,
Oh my goodness.
despite the fact that they look nothing like each other.
Mm.
They look nothing like each other. They sound nothing like each other. You can change a lot of things about somebody,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't change two things.
No.
You can't change their fingerprint. You
Yeah.
can't
Exactly.
change their voice print.
No.
You can never change a person's initial, innate, natural born voice. I don't care if you're a man who becomes a woman. Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Your vocal pattern is still going to be there.
Yes.
Like it or fucking don't. It's not going nowhere. History is not written by who was right, it's by who's left. You're exactly right.
Mhm.
We just said that.
Yeah.
It's not written by who was right, it's written by who was left.
Mm-hmm.
Who's left? Everybody else was dead.
Yeah.
Oscar Wilde said it. I'm sorry, George said it.
Mm-hmm.
George Satanu said it. It was history is a bunch of lies that never happened by people who were never there. I love that. It's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. Even the Jesus Rising wasn't in its original. You're right. It wasn't. It was added after to help people with grief.
Yeah.
In other words, it was giving people hope.
Yes.
That was the point. Is giving people hope. And you know what? Sometimes that's all you have is hope.
Mm-hmm.
But let me read this to you. And it's pretty simple. It really, really is. Finding truth in history is about understanding that this truth is not absolute. And we said that earlier. And the perspective of the translators and editors and primary sources are key to understanding truth. Now, understand this, okay? And it's pretty simple to understand. Understand this. If no one is there to report what they saw,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and there's only a secondhand accounting of it, because let's be honest about it.
Right.
Nobody was alive at the first-hand accounting of Jesus walking the earth.
Right. That's
They're
true.
all gone. Way, way gone. Okay? Who's going to tell the story of Jesus?
Right.
Who's going to tell the story of John F. Kennedy if all the people are gone?
Right.
But
Exactly.
guess what? They're not all gone. Some of them are still alive. They're
Yes.
old. They're old, but they're still alive. The youngest would have to be in their 70s.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
70s.
70. Yeah. Late
Okay?
70s. Mm-hmm.
The youngest would have to be 63, 64.
Yeah.
Kennedy's been gone since 1963.
Yes.
Okay? How long is that? 60 what? The 60
Mm,
60, how long ago? 62 years?
something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so the youngest person would have to be, God,
Yeah, because I mean, I was born on November 22nd in 71, so
let's
I
say you're,
I
let,
couldn't be able to tell this truth because I wasn't there. I wasn't
let's
born
say
yet.
you were 5 years old,
Yeah.
okay, when John F. Kennedy was
Right.
assassinated. You'd have to be 68 years old now.
I'd have to be 68. Yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you'd have to be 68 years old now. So the youngest person
Hmm.
would have to be at least 67, 68 years
Yes.
old. Okay? Who at least that was a child anyway.
Right. Because I was like 6 years old when Elvis died.
And you
So
can't
yes,
you can't count
mm-mm.
infants because they're babies.
Right.
I'm
You
talking
can't.
about somebody that was old enough to remember, like a
Yeah.
4-year-old, a 5-year-old.
Yeah. Somebody that had to have been there, like at the grassy knoll or right
Or
there,
with
right
their
by the,
mom or their dad.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay?
Right there
Or
witnessing that.
saw it on TV when it happened. All right?
Exactly.
Elvis was 1977. You were what? How old were you
I was
then?
6 years old when he passed
All right, so
away.
you were 6, right? You were born.
Hmm.
So my wife is around the same age as you. She was born in 70.
Hmm.
So she was like 7 years old. All right, because
Right.
Anita's like a year older than
Yeah.
you. But yeah, think about, because that's, you're talking about 47 years now.
Yes.
47 years Elvis has been gone.
Yes.
We think he's been gone.
Right. We think. So we don't know.
Right? We'll
Yes.
find out on our next show if he's
Hmm.
really gone or not. Um, because if he is, boy, Lisa, if he wasn't dead then Lisa Marie's death certainly put him over the
Oh
edge.
yeah. Well, just
Because
like the,
that girl did pass away.
oh, absolutely. And recently, I just watched this movie called The Moon Landing with Channing Tatum and Woody Harrelson. I don't know if you've seen that
I
movie.
have it. I
And
have it.
in a part of this movie, they have the moon landing, and of course, they supposedly want to do the real one and the fake one. So they want to try
It
to
was
show
called
one,
Project Paperclip.
and so it's called the moon landing. And so they want to see which one they're going to show. Not that. So that's how they did it.
You
Okay.
want to see how the moon landing was done? Very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very simple. It was called Operation Paperclip.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, oh God. The movie with James Brolin
Mm-hmm.
and O.J. Simpson of all people. It was
Yes.
called Capricorn One.
Okay. That was a good
Watch
one.
that movie. You can find it everywhere.
Okay.
It's on Tubi TV.
Could be TV.
Yep, it's called Capricorn One. Watch that movie, and you'll see how they did the moon landing, and you'll see something else that was never revealed before.
Oh,
You'll
okay.
see why they did it that way. They couldn't get to the moon.
Ah,
Nobody got to the moon.
yeah.
Not
a-
then and not now.
And that's people.
Folks, I hate to break this to you.
Yeah.
Even with all of our technology and our big rockets and all this shit, guess what, folks? We've never been to the moon. You know why? Because we can't get
Right.
there. We would die before we ever got there. We would fry up like a French fry, like a crisp, before we ever got there. How so, Mad Dog? Simple, ladies and gentlemen. It's called the Van Allen radiation belt, and it's impossible to permeate. You can't get through it. You know why? Because it's nothing but pure radiation. Nothing more and nothing less. It's radiation, and it will fry you to a crisp.
And that's why they say
And,
history is a lie. There
and
you go.
that's why the moon landing was a lie. They
Yep.
can't get
No,
there.
they
And
cannot.
there's no shame in saying, hey, folks, our country at the time needed a moral boost because we were getting our ass kicked. Our president just died. Martin Luther King got assassinated. Bobby Kennedy got assassinated. We needed something to lift our spirits. So we pretended that we went to the moon. Guess what? If they say that tomorrow,
Yes.
I will be the first person in line going, thank you for telling the truth. Thank you for doing what needed to be done at the time it needed to be done. I'll be the first one to say that.
Yeah. And also,
You
the
know
truth,
why? Because
right?
I understand that it's necessary to do that
Yes.
from time to time. Okay? It's necessary. Think about what happened. 1963, President Kennedy gets killed. Okay.
Killed.
What
Yeah.
was the next thing you saw? The Beatles.
The Beatles. Yes.
The Beatles. President gets killed in November 63. The Beatles come on the Ed Sullivan Show February of 64. Why? Because America needed a boost.
Yes.
And these four guys from England were making people happy with their music. Guess what? They did the right thing. They did the right thing, folks. So maybe it wasn't, right by your politically correct mentality. Well, fuck you, okay? But they did the right thing. The Beatles made people happy when America needed to be happy.
Yeah.
On that note,
cheering up.
I got a commercial coming up, Amelia. This one's for you.
Oh.
Jess wanted to start a business when something surprising happened.
Today I'm going to teach you how to crochet.
She started crocheting, like a lot. And her friends noticed.
Jess, you need to sell those.
So she signed up for Shopify and started building her business.
Yes, I love that.
And after a lot of hard work, this happened.
Oh my gosh, I just made my first sale!
You see, every day, hundreds of businesses get their first sale on Shopify.
We got a ding!
And the next could be you. So when you're ready to bring your idea to life
and become your own boss,
build it on Shopify.
Check it out.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Zero never tasted so good. Try it now.
It's What's the Buzz, America's Best Podcast. I'm Mad on the Scipio. She's Pitbull Chapman. This is tonight. It's a history of lie. Is it a big fat lie, Meal?
It could be, because did you see this video that came out with this guy that says that he's Paul McCartney instead of Paul McCartney?
Who said that? There's a guy, somebody made a video?
Yeah, that says he's Paul McCartney. Yeah, I have that for you. I'll send that to you.
Do you? Does he look like Paul?
Yeah. And he says
really?
that he's living this lie, that the Beatles, that Paul really did die, things like that. I'll send that to you.
We know Paul died.
Yes.
There's proof that Paul died.
Mm-hmm.
But again, here you go. That's
another conspiracy theory.
Place to go. That's a perfect place to go. We've done shows on this.
Yes,
at least three that I know. How many? At least three.
At least 3 to 4. Yes.
Three or four that we know of that we've done. Okay. Let's see. Ruffian, Paul McCartney clone. Yes, we're going to talk. We're actually doing another show on Paul McCartney. Write that down, Bill.
Okay. Gotcha. Writing it down.
We have to do a follow-up show. It's important. So. Yeah, the Paul McCartney clone. Absolutely. I know, but I've known about this for a long time, Ruffian. A long time. Because I'm a huge Beatles fan. Beatles and Elvis and Chuck Berry, Little Richard. I love all that stuff. Here's the thing. And let's talk serious about this.
Yes.
We are living in a time, a day and age when it's no longer hidden that history is a lie. You're seeing the lie unraveled in front of you.
Oh, absolutely.
They're lying to your face and they don't care. You know why? Because they know you don't care.
Oh.
They know that. The American people are stupid. They don't give a fuck.
We did a show about that. Remember, hidden in plain sight. It's right in front of your face.
And we're going to do another one, part 2. Write that down.
I'll write that down too.
This is how we do shows, folks. It comes up on the spur of the moment. Neil, you write it down. You know why she writes stuff down and I don't, folks? Because I forget shit. I forget shit all the time. Oh, yeah. By the way, that reminds me.
Hi, Captain Miserable.
That's the Captain Miserable has the hots for Amelia so bad. He really does. This is
Hi, Captain Miserable. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, he likes her. All right. So here's the thing. Captain, we are doing a show, Amelia, the tribute show to Sid and Kevin Sullivan. When?
September the 10th would be Kevin Sullivan, and September the 11th would be Sid Vicious.
Okay. So listen, Captain Miserable, September 10th. We're doing the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan, paying tribute to Kevin. I'm going to show clips from my show that I did with Kevin. And Sid, Psycho Sid Vicious, rest his soul.
11th.
We're going to do him September 11th. And it's appropriate that we do it on September 11th because he was a skyscraper of a man.
Yeah.
He was a big, big guy. He looked like... Actually, it's funny. Because him and the Undertaker used to be called the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Or what were they were called the Twin Towers or the Powers brother.
I think they were Twin Towers. I think you were right with that.
Yeah. The Twin Towers, the Psycho Sid and the Undertaker. Two guys that were from the South. Taker was from Texas and Sid was from Arkansas. West Memphis, Arkansas, I believe, is where he was from. I think so. So, yeah, it's, again, history is a matter of perspective. From whose perspective is it being told? Again, who's interpreting it and who's the guy documenting it? Who's writing this stuff down? Remember something. If a human being is writing it down, chances are it's going to be flawed. All right?
Right.
I want you to see some video. Check this out.
Okay.
Because, we don't do it. We never do a show and not have a video in it, right?
Well, some days we do. Some days we don't.
Yeah, but usually we have even a little bit of video, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, watch this. Here you go. Check this out.
Evidence that we are far from the most advanced civilization and that our history is nothing but a lie. Like, they really try to tell us that this temple in India, Kalisha's temple, was carved with a chisel. This was all one solid rock at one point, and it only took them 5 years. They really trying to tell you that. Like, come on, man. What kind of technology did these people have? They also try to tell us that Lashan giant Buddha in China was carved with a chisel. Bro, look.
Now, look at that thing. Are you going to tell me that was carved out of a one piece of rock with a chisel? That somebody chiseled that thing? You gotta be.
There's no way.
I got a news for you. If you believe that, I got some swampland in Manhattan to sell you. Okay.
There is no way.
Please look at the size of that thing.
Look at the fucking detail here. Look how big this thing is. You really try to tell me that this was done with a chisel? I truly think that giants used to roam the earth and they were the ones that built these magnificent structures. Like, bro, giant doorways, giant footprints, iconography of giants, like giant skeletons, giant axes all over the world, and the technology.
Have you ever seen that? Look in that video, Amelia, to the lower left-hand side. There's a giant footprint.
Right.
You see that big footprint?
Yes.
That footprint's bigger than the guy standing next to it.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. And that is petrified mud.
Oh, my.
Okay. It turns into almost like a rock material. Okay. That's a footprint. It's got to be like size 500 or some shit.
Something like that.
Huge. It's bigger than the guy.
Yeah,
that guy could stand inside that footprint, okay? So Anybody who tells you that giants never existed are full of shit. You're looking at a footprint there that's bigger than the person standing next to it. And yes, it's a real footprint. It's already been documented and verified and proven true. That's what we're talking about. Watch.
Technology used was probably only known by the elites. Let's also observe some of these statues from our ancient past. This is all made out of stone. How did they make it see-through? We can't do that.
How do you? Yeah, look at that, Amelia.
Wow.
I thought that was a veil.
That's what I was going to ask you, if that was a veil.
No, that's rock. It's stone.
Wow.
How do you do that fine detail with a chisel? Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you think
There's
I will
no
believe
way.
that shit? No, our history is complete bullshit. We've been lied to. We've been deceived by our country, our government, our leaders. They're fucking liars. They want us to believe that we're stupid, and most people believe they're stupid. Not me. I refuse to, as I'm a fucking genius.
This shit. Bro, look at the detail in this statue. Like, we can't even come close to this. You're telling me this was done with a chisel? There is absolutely no question that they are hiding the real truth of our ancient past from us. More than likely to keep us dumbed down and ignorant to our true potential. Look within, like the Buddha, to find the real truth to this reality. Peace and love. Undeniable evidence that we have been purposely misled and lied to about the origins of...
Now, wait till you hear some of this shit. This is going to blow your fucking mind. Watch.
Humanity and our history. Okay, first of all, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the education system left out some of the wisest people in our history, such as Nikola Tesla, the greatest inventor of all time that was trying to give humanity free energy, and also some of the wisest societies of all times, like the Egyptians. Like, why were the emerald tablets of Thoth left out of our history books? If you don't know, Thoth was the Egyptian god of wisdom, and he made the emerald tablets, which is 42 documents written in cryptic hermetic text, and they were also written on indestructible emerald green. These tablets quite literally contain wisdom that can unlock the secrets of the universe. And yeah, they claim that they were destroyed in a fire or something like that, even though they're indestructible. And I'm willing to bet that those, along with many other crucial documents that can prove the origins of humanity and our history, are chilling in the Vatican archives. Oh yeah, this is a good one. They also told us that slaves built the pyramids. So you're trying to tell me that slaves hauled a total of 6 million tons of stone, or 2.5 million individually precise cut stone across the desert hundreds of miles. Oh, and they did this while targeting the Great Pyramid to true north within 360th of a degree. Which...
Wow.
How is that even possible?
There's not a way that that's possible.
There's no way. There's no humanly way. And I just said the key word. There's no humanly way.
There's no humanly way. You're right.
That happened another way. Let's watch.
By the way, is more accurate of an alignment than any other structure on Earth currently. It's also aligned at the center of Earth's mass. Oh, and the coordinates of the Great Pyramid give you the exact same number as the speed of light, while perfectly aligning all the pyramids with Orion's belt. But no, for sure, this was definitely done by slaves. This is straight up an indoctrination camp meant to mold real slaves. How about the Sumerian tablets that are still in the Vatican archive? Now, I'm not going to go too deep on this, but the Sumerian tablets literally hold all the keys and information about the real origins of humanity. Like, this is a significant piece of our history, and it's been purposely left out of our history books. And this is literally just scratching the surface on things that we were purposely not taught about, like giants, extraterrestrials, dragons. Do a little research, it'll blow your mind. And if you like this video and you want me to go a little bit deeper on some of these topics that were purposely left out of our history books, make sure to leave a like, leave a thumbs up in the comments, and I'll make that video for you guys. Peace and love.
Secret history of America. As children, we were taught that the Spaniards came over and found an indigenous and savage people. But what the history books don't tell you is that there was an advanced civilization here already. Early archaeologists were dumbfounded when they found hundreds of giant-sized mummies in burial mounds.
Wow.
These discoveries led a British prospector named J.C. Brown to travel to a place called Mount Shasta in California. he found a cave at the base of the mountain that spiraled 11 miles into the earth. And it was there that he found an ancient underground city. Inside, he found gold and silver and giant, colossal weapons, but there was no people anywhere. And it was only on his way out that he found thousands of mummies buried inside another cave. He brought back one of the skeletons and wanted to share this news with the world, but on the day of the departure, J.C. Brown was murdered in his tent.
Finding the truth about our past. And the truth that this place that we live is incredible. It's filled with perfection, and we have been distracted from it for far too long. When you walk down the street, you will now see the previous civilization's work in your city, because they are honestly everywhere, and they deserve our attention. Henry Cobb, the first Henry that we were given, is a character that needs to be covered. Here we are given a list of buildings that Cobb is credited with knocking out over 100 years ago. There is one specifically that caught my eye, and that is the Chicago Federal Building. And let's take a look at this picture for a minute. We have shown this type of nonsense before, so let's do it again. They show this fake wagon sitting on the dirt road with more people that are identical next to each other in white. These are not real people. They are all photoshopped. If we zoom in on it, you can clearly see that they are duplicates. They are copy-pasted. And the other one is all glitched out. And who just stands in the middle of a road anyway? None of it fits in. You have a massive building, yet you have horse and wagon, and you have dirt roads. If it rains, the dirt is going to become so...
Did anybody ever think of this stuff before?
No, I was like what
I mean, think about what he's telling you. Think about what he's telling you. You got this gigantic stone building, and all around it is a dirt road. Really?
I know, right?
Okay, now, who's the ancients here? Them or us? Clearly, it's us. Because that kind of technology has been here for a very long time. And I'm going to prove it after this video is finished. Okay? I'm going to prove it by the show that we did last week. You say, oh, Mad Dog, you're really stretching, ain't you? Oh, you think so? I'm crazy? I'm crazy like a fox. Watch this.
Wet, and you will not be moving any limestone. Yet this was never an issue for the mainstream narrative. The dirt is always looking like it had just been raked and perfected for the photo. There's a dirt road down the street from my house, and they have to fix that thing all the time. Otherwise, there's massive holes in it. There are no holes in this picture. It's a perfect dirt road. I'm at the point where I'm going to say that this was prepared for the photo in our new civilization. The dirt is sitting on top of the past civilization's work. These buildings are under the dirt. They are much bigger than we can see. This is not the original road. It's all backwards. The road always comes first in construction because you need to be able to access the construction site. This is obvious stuff.
Okay. Common sense check here, folks.
Yeah, exactly. You have to build the road first. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. How do you build a place like this in the middle of nowhere with no access road?
There's
how
no
are you getting
way.
Amelia, think about that. You just said it. How are you getting your supplies in there? How are you getting stone and building materials in there? How are you getting anything in there with no access road? You got to build a road first.
Exactly. Unless it's there's something underneath they have under.
No, well, here's the other thing. You can't build a dirt road.
No.
What happens when it rains? It's all mud.
It's all muddy, and then you start getting those.
You'll never get anything through. Oh, forget it. Please.
Never. Yeah.
But they think that we're stupid, Neil.
I know.
They think that we're like a bunch of gavones that we don't understand,
Yeah, because they're building a lot of houses over here where we live at, and they build the road first. They have to build the road first because they got to get through. You have to.
You can't do it any other way.
You can't.
You can't.
No.
Watch.
The narrative ignores, like we said. Getting the materials there and the machinery would be nearly impossible with dirt roads and donkeys and wagons. If it snows or rains, then just forget about it. Other than a few fake people, a couple fake wagons and a light post, this is in Chicago. And we all know that Shalaga is not abandoned. There are literally no people in this photo. My point is that if this is true, that these are Photoshopped people in wagons, which it's looking more and more clear that this is the case, then was this the very first picture of this building for our current civilization to see? It's strange, especially when we hear the story about the building.
You heard of the World's Fairs? The World's Fairs might be some of the most mysterious events in the entire history of man. These were gigantic, grand-scale events with grand-sized buildings. In the case of the St. Louis Fair, you had over 1,200 buildings. In fact, some of these were the largest recorded buildings in history at the time, which begs the question,
Now,
how did they create such...
I want you to think about something.
Mm-hmm.
She's showing you pictures from the St. Louis Fair, World's Fair. Okay? Just do me a favor, Amelia. Just while we're on the air, just so people don't think that I'm bullshitting.
Okay.
Right now, get on your phone right now and Google St. Louis World's Fair. Tell me what year.
Okay.
Because if I tell people what year it was, they're going to think that I'm bullshitting them. They're going to completely think that I'm making this up. I promise you I'm not.
What, the 1904?
Thank you.
Yeah.
1904. I want you to hear what she said.
And I see the same pictures that you're showing right here on my phone.
Yep, 1904. Do you honestly believe that the United States of America had this kind of technology in 1904? Let's watch.
Fairs might be some of the most mysterious events in the entire history of man. These were gigantic, grand-scale events with grand-sized buildings. In the case of the St. Louis Fair, you had over 1,200 buildings. In fact, some of these were the largest recorded buildings in history at the time, which begs the question, how did they create such an event in record times, in 1 to 2 years? How did they build the buildings, the canals, the roadways, the walkways, the colleges?
Are you trying to tell me that they built that entire fair in they had 2 years to do it?
That's
You're going to tell me that no. No. There's no way that they did that. I'm with you on this one. There's absolutely, there could not have been. There could not have been any possible way to build that sprawling architecture.
Too much detail.
With that kind of detail in 2 years.
Exactly, yes.
Listen, today, it takes 2 years just to build one building these days.
Or even half of a building.
Now you're talking about an entire city in 2 years? The hell out of here.
The arches, the pillars, everything. How did they build everything in a year or two and make it look absolutely spectacular? And history will tell us that this is all made of plaster and hemp. In the modern day, these events will cost several $100 million based on their original expenses. But for temporary buildings, why do they have lightning rods? Why are they so big? Many believe these were cities that were found and destroyed by the new population.
That's not possible.
Did you hear what she said? Did you hear what she said? The one thing that nobody caught. Why did those buildings have lightning rods? Why? Think about something. Think about something. What do you need a lightning rod for?
Right? Why would you need a lightning rod for?
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. What do
electricity?
What does a lightning rod do?
Electricity, probably.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you need a lightning rod. Electricity.
Right.
Well, electricity supposedly, electricity was invented by Thomas Edison.
Right.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Thomas Edison did not invent electricity. He didn't. Never happened.
No.
Thomas Edison, in fact, never invented the light bulb. They say he did, but he did not. Who harnessed electricity? Who invented the light bulb? Here's the truth. You'll only hear it here, ladies and gentlemen. The person who invented the electric light bulb, his name was Nikola Tesla. That's who he was. Nikola Tesla. Okay? He also harnessed the first usable electricity, the inventor of the Tesla coil, which is still used today. But most people don't know who Nikola Tesla is. Thank God for Elon Musk, because Elon Musk immortalized Tesla with his company, Tesla. And it's not just a car, okay? Tesla runs on electricity. Right. That was, even Elon Musk knows the truth. Thomas Edison, ladies and gentlemen, was a thief. He was a thief who stole Nikola Tesla's patents, his inventions. He is also responsible for having Nikola Tesla murdered. He was a government spy. That's what you don't know about this, the great Thomas Edison. He was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he was willing to go into bed with the government. Okay? You're not ever going to hear that anywhere but here. Because I'm not afraid to tell you the truth.
Yes, you're not. You're going to tell the truth because you do your research.
And anybody can do that research, Amelia.
Yeah.
It's out there. The greatest gift we have, and it really is a gift, the greatest gift we have is the internet. Let me tell you a little something about one of the things that the video we're talking about. Advanced technology. This advanced technology has been around a long time. How long, Mad Dog? Since the days of the Bible. Last week, we did a show on angels.
Yes.
And I showed you something that looks remarkably like a satellite, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Called Ezekiel's wheel. Guess what Ezekiel's wheel is, Amelia?
What?
It's a satellite.
Yeah.
Angels.
Angels, yes.
We call them angels. But guess what? What are angels? They're satellites.
Wow.
They're satellites. Think all you got to, you don't even have to, folks, you don't even have to think it. Just go look it up.
Yeah.
I'm not, swear to you, I'm not making any of this up. Go look. We got comments in our, oh, look at this.
What?
Look at this. Captain Miserable, absolutely. Do you follow Graham Hancock? I do, actually. And I know about his theories. I've watched his Netflix show. Neil, you ever have watched the Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix? It's called Ancient Apocalypse.
I think we've watched one show of it because I think Joseph had something to watch on it one time.
You should watch it. This guy Graham Hancock, he's really, really good. He's a hell of an explorer. Captain Miserable sends smooches to his lovely lady.
Oh.
So I wrote to everyone out there. We are doing a tribute show to Kevin Sullivan on September 10th and a tribute to Psycho Sid on September 11th. I put this out there so I want people to see a little advance of what we're doing. If you want to join us, tell everyone to join us. I will tell my Kevin Sullivan story, and I will play clips from an interview I did with Kevin Sullivan. I actually played some clips the day he passed away. Amelia, you remember the show that we just did?
With your neighbor, right? She came on with
Kathy Fitzpatrick, my neighbor that lives, breathes, eats, sleeps, and shits wrestling. All she does is wrestling. Anyway, Emil, tell everybody. I'm over here telling everybody what's coming up. Why don't you tell everybody what's coming up?
Well, tomorrow you actually have two shows tomorrow morning. Well, one you have in the morning, and then of course we have one in the evening, you have musician Doug. Is it Keats?
Yep, that's it. Doug
At
Cates.
9 a.m. Don't forget 9 a.m. Eastern time.
This is a special daytime show, folks. We will be broadcasting live, and I will also be broadcasting that show later in the week in the evening, probably on Thursday night.
Good. That way they have a double shot to see that.
Well, yep, you'll have 2 chances to see. You'll see it live, and you can listen to it or watch it, whatever you want to do.
Right?
We've got
And
both
then
audio, radio, and video.
and our good friend Mark Sotkin's coming back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Tell everybody who Mark Sotkin is.
Writer, producer, director of Laverne and Shirley, Charles in Charge. Let's see, who else did he do? What other shows did he do? Let's see, I'm trying to think at the moment. Let's see.
Okay. That's Mark.
Yes, that's Mark.
Mark is, I think I want to talk to Mark tomorrow night about his experiences with gossip columnists. We just had one of the best in the business on the show.
William Keck, yes.
William Keck is he has pissed off everybody. William Keck is the guy that you love to hate if you're in Hollywood. He's worked for Entertainment Weekly, the National Enquirer, TV Guide. He's worked for Entertainment. What did it?
Entertainment Weekly, was it?
Entertainment Weekly.
Mm-hmm.
The E Network, is that what it's called? The
E Network. I forgot to ask him if that tree was still there that he rented. He probably
he told us a story about he paid a woman. I can't believe that he would do that. He paid a woman $500 to rent her tree. Why? Why, Mad Dog, would he pay her that kind of money?
For a funeral.
For a funeral, because it was Dean Martin's funeral.
Yeah.
And the branch of the tree overhung the cemetery.
Yeah.
So I guess, if you can't get in, you go, oh, well, I don't know. She's got her property butts right up against the cemetery.
Dean Martin would have got a kick out of that, though. You know that?
Dean Martin would have fucking loved it. Sinatra would have been pissed off.
Yeah.
Who was at the funeral, too, by the way. Apparently, he said his answer was classic, though. Mm-hmm. He said, I got the honor of hearing Rosemary Clooney sing Dean Martin songs at his funeral. Well, yeah, okay. So you could have put a record on instead.
Right?
Oh, my God. All right. Well, listen, we have a hell of a show coming.
Yeah, and then Wednesday we have actor model Gunnar Pope. Of course, we're going to have his mom with him.
He is the next big thing. We're going to broadcast Gunnar Pope live and in person before he becomes famous.
Yes.
Then we can say we were there at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I got some heads up for you guys.
Oh.
Major A-list Hollywood celebrities, 3 of them coming on the show. And Jeffrey Mark is coming back.
Yes.
Smile, Amelia. Say, oh, good. I have 3 A-listers coming on. Not all at the same time. They're coming on, but they're coming on. And my friend Jeffrey Mark is coming back on. I like Jeffrey. He's a talented guy. Look, like it or not, he's a talented guy. But that's for then. This is now. Until we see you again, folks, God bless you. And we'll see you next time. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. God bless. Be good to each other. Especially be good, Amelia, to Jeffrey Mark. Smile.
I am smiling.
She's so bad, this woman. All right, listen.
I'll be nice, I promise.
Oh, gosh, she said it. She'll be nice. Okay, thank you. On that note, we're going to see you tomorrow night, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.